Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our next chapter, the new chapter, chapter number 10. This is wave optics, and today's topic will be Huygens principle. Right? Now, see, if we go for the wave optics, first of all, we should know the nature of the light. Right? The first theory given by the Newton about the nature of the light, and that theory was known as corpuscular theory by Newton. In this theory, Newton suggests that the light is made of tiny particles. It means the source of light emitting the tiny particles in the form of light, and he successfully explained the reflection and refraction of light, and moreover he explained the rectilinear propagation of the light, right, in the first theory. Second theory given by the Huygens, he suggests that the light travels in the form of wave, and as per the Huygens principle or Huygens theory, we were able to explain the reflection, refraction, interference, diffraction and polarization of the light. So these are the 5 phenomena which were successfully explained on the basis of wave theory given by the Huygens. In this chapter, wave optics, we will explain all 5 phenomena on the basis of wave theory, right? But the corpuscular theory was failed to explain the interference, diffraction and polarization, right? Next theory given by the Maxwell. He suggests that the light is an electromagnetic wave, means the light is made of electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic wave is the wave in which electric vector and magnetic vectors are perpendicular to each other, and both the vectors or both the fields are perpendicular to each other. It means direction of propagation, magnetic field and electric field are mutually perpendicular to each other. Next theory was given by the Max Planck, and that theory was quantum theory. So again, quantum theory of light given by the Max Planck and few phenomena of light explained by the quantum theory. These phenomena were the quantum theory means photon theory, that is photoelectric effect and Compton effect of the light, right? Now, first of all, we should know that what is electromagnetic. Actually, in electromagnetic wave, electric fields and magnetic fields are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now see, this is the 3-dimensional diagram. In XY plane, electric field exists, right? In XZ plane, which is perpendicular to XY plane, these vectors are magnetic fields, means electric field and magnetic fields are perpendicular to. Now electric fields and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other, right? Now both are moving in perpendicular direction, means the direction of propagation is along x-axis, right? So electric field, magnetic field and direction of propagations are mutually perpendicular to each other in electromagnetic wave, right? Now these are the properties of electromagnetic wave. Variation in both electric and magnetic fields occur simultaneously. Therefore, they attain their maximum and minimum at the same place and at the same time. Now see, at this point electric field is maximum and magnetic field is also maximum. At this point electric field is 0, magnetic field is 0. Means electric field and magnetic field attaining the same maxima and minima at the same place and at the same time. Second, the direction of electric and magnetic fields are mutually perpendicular as well as they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. This point I have already discussed, right? Now the third, the speed of electromagnetic wave depends entirely on the electric field and magnetic field properties in the medium, in which the wave travel and not on amplitude of the variations, right? Means it is depending, the speed of light is depending on the medium, right? Now the speed of light in the vacuum is 1 by root mu naught epsilon naught. Mu naught is permeability of the vacuum and epsilon naught is permittivity of the vacuum. It means the speed of light depending on the medium and the magnetic effect and electric effect in the medium, right? For discussion, the optical property of EM wave more significant is given to the electric field. Therefore, electric field is called light vector. This is the most important point. It means in the electromagnetic wave only the electric field has the optical effect, है ना? यानी अगर हम लाइट से किसी चीज को देखते हैं, if it is producing the visual effect, तो that is only because of electric vectors, ठीक? And electric vectors are perpendicular to the direction of propagation, ठीक? Now see, we are going for the Huygens principle. Before understanding the Huygens principle, we should know our previous concept. Now see, this is the water surface and a stone hit at the surface of the pond. Now what will happen? The ripples will produce, right? Now ripples are going away from the center. Ripples are going away from the center. It means it is nothing but the disturbance is going away from the center. In class 11, we have already discussed the mechanical waves, right? And these waves are transverse waves. Since the vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation, so this wave which is generated at the surface of water, these are the transverse waves. Now, you can observe that ripples, some points the water surface above the normal level and in few regions, alternate regions, the water surface goes down to the normal surface. So these are the ripples, right? Now same thing happens in the case of light. There is a light source and it is emitting some disturbance. But in pond surface it was 2-dimensional. But in case of light source it will be 3-dimensional. Means rays are coming in all possible directions, right? So disturbance is also going in all possible direction in the medium, right? Now what is wavefront? The wavelet is the point of disturbance due to propagation of light. What we will say, this wavelet is a point of disturbance due to propagation of light. And the wavefront is the locus of points having the same phase of oscillation. Means the particles which are vibrating in the same phase, if we enclose these particles by the closed envelope, that will be known as wavefront. Now see, in this case, it may be a wavefront. Although it is not wavefront, it is a mechanical wave. We are talking about the light wave. So these all particles are vibrating in same phase. Means they are at same height from the normal level. Similarly, in case of light, if there is a source of light, so all the particles which are vibrating in same phase, the envelope is known as wavefront. For example, this is a wavefront, this is another wavefront, this is another wavefront, but it is three-dimensional. ठीक? The line perpendicular to the wavefront is called ray. अब यहाँ पे देखिए ये जो हमने एरो ड्रॉ किया है, this is the arrow. This is representing the ray, and ray is perpendicular to the wavefront. Since the radius and the circumference always perpendicular to each other in the case of hollow sphere, right? Now this is cylindrical wavefront. This is spherical wavefront. The spherical wavefront is always produced by the point source. For example, a light bulb. Light bulb, we can assume it as a point source. Now in line source, like a tube light, fluorescent tube, what will be the wavefront? It will be cylindrical wavefront. Now all the particles of this line source acting as a point source, so it will form the cylindrical wavefront. And the small particle or the small part of these wavefront is plane wavefront. This is the plane wavefront, right? Now rays are perpendicular to the wavefront. It means parallel beam of light produce the plane wavefront, whereas point source produce the spherical wavefront, and the line source always produce the cylindrical wavefront. This is the basic concept of the Huygens theory, right? Now we can say that I am going to another slide. Now see, this is a concave mirror. In concave mirror, parallel beam of light incident and after reflection it meet out at the focal point. Now if we want to draw the wavefront, what will be the shape of wavefront? Now see, this is the plane wavefront. When rays are going to incident at the mirror, the rays are parallel to each other. The wavefront will be plane wavefront. But after reflection, the wavefront becomes spherical, since these rays are converging rays. So it will be spherical, means the part of spherical wavefront. But in case of incident rays, this is the plane wavefront. Now second case, this is the convex mirror. Now rays are also coming parallel to each other. After reflection, it is being appeared at a single point, that is focal point. Now we have to draw the wavefront. For the incident rays, this would be plane wavefront. But in case of reflected waves or reflected rays, the wavefront will be spherical, since the rays are diverging, right? Now in case of lenses, for convex lens, parallel rays incident and focus at focal point after refraction. Now for the incident rays, the wavefront will be plane wavefront. But in case of refracted rays, it will be spherical. Now this is the concave lens. Again, parallel rays incident at the concave lens. After incident, it gets refracted and becomes divergent. Now what will be the wavefront? For the incident ray, it will be plane wavefront. But in case of refracted rays, it will be again spherical. Means whenever there are parallel rays, the wavefront will be plane. And if rays are converging or diverging, the wavefront will be spherical. Right? So this is all about today's topic. Thank you very much.